So let's say that you've taken all these applications in. By the way, the more applications, the better. And you've reviewed them. Looks like it might be a match. How do you do the interview and what are you really looking for? Now, some of you out there go, oh, I go by my gut feeling. In fact, I did a survey where 80% of independent business owners said that they went by their gut instinct. Worst thing you can do. Now, why is it the worst thing? Because a lot of times we think we're going to like somebody and we do the interview understanding that all I want to find out is more good stuff. The problem with that is you're just hearing what you want to hear. So we want to go through and we want to really have a formula for that. So when I interview somebody, I always want to be hospitable because I want a remarkable service in my store. I need to show that when they're coming in for an application. So after I've weeded through them, I have them sit down, can I get you a cup of coffee or a soft drink or some water or something? I'll have a little bit of conversation. And instead of saying those old tired things of, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself, which no one knows how to answer and no one knows how to judge, I might say, can you just give me the example of what a typical day would be at your last job? So they're going to walk through it with me, and I'm going to be able to see. Now, for example, if somebody was a housekeeper at a local hotel, what I don't want to hear is, well, I'd clean the rooms, and then we'd get the towels, and I would clock out at 4. Really what I want to hear is, well, I'd start off at a room, and I would clean it. So when you're hearing somebody talk about their day, you might interrupt them and go, great, you are a housekeeper in a hotel. Can you think of one room? Can you tell me exactly when you walk in the door what your process is? So I want to hear her say, I walk in the door, I pick up the trash, I then deposit that in my cart, I go into the bathroom, I spray all the surfaces. You follow me? It's a lot of details that I want to hear how her mind works. I want to give her that option to show me. Because for me, I want detailed person. I don't want to have just namby-pamby things. Because so many people tell me, oh, it's so hard to hire people. No, it isn't. But what's hard is to develop that interview so that it always delivers. So going back to our example, I'm asking them what a typical day is in their current job. And then I might, depending on how long they've been at that other job, I might ask for the previous job as well. Now it's my turn to have a commercial about us. So I'm going to say, well, here's what we're trying to do in our operation. I want to have an exceptional experience for everybody we meet. So that means that you are always going to be thinking, how can I make it better? Now, I might ask them, what to you is an exceptional experience? Can you think of a brand or a store, or what would be really good about that, and put words to it? The person who gets the job typically will know what that is. People who stumble or they go, I don't know, I got a Big Mac in 60 seconds. Okay, that's not an exceptional experience, so we don't want that. But then I'm going to start to get more specific, and I'm going to say, can you give me a time when you went out of your way for a customer and how you handled it? So that's great. Hopefully tell me a great example. And then I'll say, now can you give me a time when maybe you didn't do so great? Oh, I've always give great customer service. Well, don't let them off the hook yet. I think you can agree that nobody's 100%. There's always got to be something, somehow that went wrong. Feel free to take your time. Just think of that one example and then tell me about it. All I want to hear is that they acknowledge they do things that have been wrong and how they handle it. And then the next question I would also ask is, can you give me a time when you had a problem with an employee and how you handled it? The right answer is going to be, they had a problem, they talked it out, they dealt with it. For me, the wrong answer is, oh, I asked my manager and he handled it. Because that tells me I'm going to have to do more work if I hire this person. Does that make sense? I want somebody that is able to resolve things on their own. And always be thinking of contrary information. I mean, if somebody's telling you how great they are, your goal is also to find something that may not be so great, so that you get a balanced picture when you're talking to them or you're talking afterwards about bringing them into your crew. It's always a good idea if there's going to be a manager that might be different than you, if you're the owner and there's going to be a manager, get them involved as well, maybe in a second interview. But I don't want this interview to be more than 15 or 20 minutes tops, so set a timer or something. Your goal is not finding a new friend, and I think we find that in so many independent retailers. We're looking for a friend and how much we have in common, and we aren't looking at, would I pay this person $8 an hour, $10 an hour, $15 an hour? How much would I have to do to get them to come on board? I think a lot of times we go, oh, thank God they'll fill the schedule. And then we wonder why we can't sell. Because the merch isn't going to sell unless somebody sells it. That's up to you, putting the right team in place. So just to go back, make sure that you've got your applications all together. you're going to want to make sure that you've got a time set by maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, again, maybe with a timer. You're going to make sure that you're going to be hospitable when they come in. You're going to share something about yourself and your business and why it's different here. And instead of thinking, oh, I want to get them on the schedule as quick as possible, you're thinking, I want to see both black and white, good and bad. And then you can form a really good judgment. Now, the way I end that interview is I'm going to know pretty quickly I really do like this person or not. So the person I don't like, I might say, well, we're going to continue taking applications through the week. If we have a need for a second interview, I will call you back probably by next Wednesday. If you don't hear from me by next Wednesday, then we've chosen somebody else. But the person I think I really might like, I don't want to get them off the labor market as quick as possible. So I might say, well, why don't you give me a call at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, here's my card, and we can discuss it. Because I want them to have to want to come to me. Does that make sense? I don't want to go through and call them up and they go, oh, I got another job. And the ones that call are the ones that usually stick the most. So if you want further tips or some other ideas, you might visit my site, retaildoc.com.